wouldn't be AEW if there wasn't some drama happening before a pay-per-view. Hello all, welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx. Breaking news in the world of wrestling. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, has been suspended, not permanently, because we gotta have her for All In. She has a big-time blockbuster match with, one of the biggest female wrestlers in the world, Mercedes Moné. Yeah, we can't afford to lose her right now. I don't think so. But I'm sorry. It's become a tradition for there to be drama before any AEW show. Every big show they've had some kind of drama behind it. There can't just be AEW had this amazing top quality show. No, there has to be someone getting into a fight, getting suspended, someone having allegations thrown their way. It's always been a part of AEW's growth. So much so that it feels like someone is doing this on purpose. Someone is strategically trying to ruin AEW's reputation because how often this shit happens. Every time we get to a big show, something happens. And it's exhausting. So here we are. Let's talk about it. Britt Baker is suspended. Why? Well, Fightful Select has the scoop. Here's what Fightful Select had to say about the drama. Right off the bat, Britt Baker and MJF argument leads to suspension. Says here, Britt Baker's suspension is legitimate. It is not a storyline. Just so we're getting that out the way. She really was suspended over doing some dumb shit. Based off of what I'm seeing here. And it happened several weeks ago, around AEW 250. So this was around when MJF and Will Ospreay had that classic 1 hour fight. Either during the show, before the show, after the show. It was around that period. Several weeks ago, they got into a fight, verbally. The word eternally was that Britt Baker exercised frustration. She was talking shit. That's what that means. She was talking shit about MJF within the women's locker room. Word made it back to MJF through his girlfriend, Alicia Atout, because Alicia Atout was in the room, overheard Britt Baker, and then went to tattletale to her boyfriend. She talking shit about you. Lord have mercy. This is some high school drama, man. Really? The details are, he said, she said. But we're told that there were confrontations between Alicia and Britt, and then MJF and Britt. At one point, Will Ospreay also spoke to Britt Baker. Word was that Baker also took issue with Alicia telling MJF, well, we could piece that together, about what was said in the locker room. There was a claim from one person in the locker room that Britt Baker cursed, sweared up a storm at Alicia Atout, and wanted to kick her out of the locker room for leaking out conversations where they shouldn't be leaked out. How about we don't have them at all in the locker room? But we'll get to that in a second. Let's finish the report. We got more. An argument broke out between MJF and Baker, which resulted in MJF punching a wall before his hour-long match. This happened before the MJF and Will Ospreay 250 match. Okay, so she'll probably be back pretty soon. Says here, the previous close friends, Britt Baker and MJF, had a falling out. Oh, okay, so they're not friends. Had a falling out at some point in the last year. Over what? I have no idea. HR got involved in the situation, which actually happened several weeks ago. We pieced that together. It happened around 250. Britt has appeared on TV since then, but was legitimately suspended. Okay, because I was about to say, like, hasn't she been on TV already? So isn't she already back? We have spoken to some near the situation that MJF entered the women's locker room to have the conversation. This is a situation that will have two different sides to it. We've asked why MJF was not also suspended, because I was worried about that as well. Like, well, if Britt Baker got suspended, you have to suspend MJF too, right? Or at least Alicia Atout, but that hasn't happened yet. But we asked why MJF was not suspended, and we're told an investigation was conducted, and numerous witnesses were interviewed, and the suspension was levied against Britt Baker because they felt she was the aggressor. Wow. The claim internally from AEW was that the suspension led to one side's version of the events being supported, though we have spoken to talent that claim otherwise. Lord have mercy. The issue in general is divisive, and most talent that we've heard from were over it already and hope to move on, with one saying they thought they left this kind of thing in the past. Ha! It's AEW, baby! This is tradition. But don't worry, Miss DMD will be back in time for All In. She might be back next week. Hell, she might already be back. It was a short suspension. Slap her on the wrist. Don't do it again, Britt. So, you hear that story. You hear the report. You hear me giving you the details. I guarantee you, most of you are just like, Jesus Christ. Why can't they get away from drama? It's always something. Now, usually, I would write this off. I would say, well, they handed down a consequence. We move on. Here's why I'm not going to do that. Because of who's involved. This wasn't just your average AEW wrestler who got suspended. This was one of Tony Khan's favorites. Britt Baker, who got suspended. Britt Baker, who had an entire show centered around her. AEW All Access was essentially the Britt Baker show. She was on every episode. She was the centerpiece. She was the face of that show. This is someone that has gotten her way since day one. This is someone that Tony Khan has gone out of his way to make sure she is taken care of, that she's given all the TV time, all the microphone time. Even her friends got privileges because of her association with Tony Khan. She herself has said she's a Tony Khan favorite. So for her to get suspended, yeah, something crazy really, really had to happen. Now, let me start by saying this too. I don't know Britt Baker. I think that's her real name. Britt Baker, right? Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. That's not a gimmick. She's actually a dentist. She's actually a doctor with a PhD. She leads two lives as a wrestler and as a dentist. But I don't know who she is. Never met her. Anything I know about Britt Baker comes through reports. So I take that with a grain of salt. But after a while, once you start hearing the same shit over and over and over again through different reports, through different interactions, allegations, altercations, you start to come to a conclusion. You start to draw your conclusions about this person. And based off of reports, Britt Baker comes across as a Regina George. Someone who's a shit stirrer, who forms cliques, who creates drama, and loves it. And she gets away with it because she's a favorite. Because think about this for a minute. Why are you backstage talking shit about MJF and Will Ospreay? I get it. MJF is also someone who's a Tony Khan favorite. And this might be a clashing of egos. If you don't think Britt Baker has an ego, my friend, trust me, you don't even need to know her. She has a PhD. She's a favorite of Tony Khan's. She probably thinks she can do whatever the hell she wants. And she also knows if she were to leave AEW, the WWE would pick her up in a heartbeat. You goddamn right she has an ego. Most people who are favorites do. This is not just exclusive to AEW. You can probably bet there are a lot of people in WWE who also have egos. Egos are a natural part of wrestling. MJF for sure has an ego. So this could be a clashing of egos where Britt feels like MJF gets too much TV time and she doesn't get enough. At least for her feud with Mercedes Moné to have the impact that it needs to have to get people to want to buy tickets to see them. She probably felt like she wasn't getting enough TV time. She just got back, and Tony Khan isn't using her the way she feels like she should be used. She had one promo. One in-ring promo. She really hasn't had another since. So I can understand the frustration. Why are you talking shit about it in the locker room? Take that shit home. You don't have a house you can go to? Call your friends up, have a tea party, I don't know, slumber party, and then talk shit? Why are you doing it in the locker room? Where people can hear you. And then we have Alicia Atout, who just got hired, by the way. Love her. Interviewed her twice on the channel. Of course she's gonna go tell MJF about it. That's her man. Now, personally, I would have kept that shit to yourself and just worked it out with Britt. Hey, don't talk shit about my boyfriend while I'm around. Thanks. But of course she's gonna go tell MJF. And MJF, full of adrenaline, probably dealing with his own shit, hears about it. He wants to nip it in the bud, goes right to Britt Baker. You talk shit about me, I'm gonna go to your face and say it to my face. Don't go behind my goddamn back. You got a problem with me, say it to my fucking face. So, he went to Britt Baker, and they had a tit for tat, tit for spat, and of course, we hear the story of MJF punching the wall, and then she got suspended for it. First off, I think this was more than just a tit for tat spat. This was more than just a verbal argument. Some fists were thrown. Someone got hurt. Or at least some kind of a physical altercation happened. Because you don't get suspended in AEW unless you put your hands on somebody. Look at Eddie Kingston, look at Andrade, who both put their hands on Sammy Guevara and got suspended. If this was just a shouting match, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, why would you need to suspend somebody over that? Why would you need to fine somebody? Britt Baker was fined and suspended. This wasn't just a shouting match. There was a fight. Most likely between Alicia Atout and Britt Baker. Or there was going to be a fight. That would be the only reason MJF tries to put his fist through a wall. And if that's the case, Britt needs to be reeled in. Seriously, I would have suspended her too. I just hate the fact that they chose to do this right before All In. Eventually, Tony Khan needs to get everybody in the locker room in one spot and go, the next person that gets into a fight is fired. Not suspended, fired on the spot. Listen, we are in a very, very crucial time for AEW. We're negotiating TV rights with Warner Brothers Discovery. We're currently not doing well in terms of ticket sales, in terms of viewership. We need all the goodwill press we can get. The last thing we need is more goddamn drama. We all assumed the drama left the building when they got rid of CM Punk. Nope. As time goes by, I just think the drama is associated with AEW. And everybody involved is going to catch some smoke, regardless of who you are. Even if you're Britt Baker. Hell, based off of reports, she's the one starting the drama. She's one of the reasons that the drama's happening. I don't know her. I'm just going off of the reports. And that's not good. So yes, I'm happy a consequence was handed down. I'm happy that it was immediate. They didn't waste time with it. They let her know, hey Britt, you can't do this shit anymore. Quit starting drama in the locker room. You got a problem? You go to Tony Khan and or the person you have a problem with and express it there. You're an adult. This isn't high school anymore. Now, will this have long-term effects on AEW? Probably. Again, if this is a Regina George situation and Britt Baker felt like she can get away with shit and now feels like she can't, that could lead to her deciding, you know what? I think I might want to get out of my contract and go work for WWE. Which, by the way, if she does that, yes, they will pick her up immediately. Now, she wouldn't be getting away with half the shit she got away with here. But, like CM Punk, she's more than likely to be on her best behavior under Triple H. She most likely feels like she can get away with this shit because Tony Khan let her. He let her form those cliques. He let her start that drama with Thunder Rosa, turn the locker room against her. He let her get to the point where she feels like she can talk shit about other wrestlers. And this is what happens When you're so lenient and you show favoritism, this shit is bound to happen. And if you think this is the last time it's going to happen, then you don't know AEW. Again, this is now tradition. I'm not asking if, I'm asking when's the next time drama like this is going to pop up. It's great content for me. Yes, I'm happy consequences were swift. Britt got suspended, she'll be back soon. She needs to know she can't do that. If this is all true. Now, I don't know the details, and if more details come out, best believe I will be up here to talk about it. But based off of what I got right now, clearly Britt was in the wrong. Clearly she was the aggressor. Clearly the right decision was made to suspend her. And it was short, it was swift, she got fined. Hey, Britt, next time you do this is what's going to happen. Don't do this shit no more. Quit starting drama in the locker room. Period. Take that shit home. Or be an adult and go to the person you have an issue with. If not, go to Tony Khan. This shouldn't have even happened. Britt should be having a great feud, and but should be having one of the best feuds with Mercedes Moné, and now she's off TV because of some dumb shit that shouldn't have even happened. Over what? Lack of TV time? I get it. But go to Tony Khan about that. Don't get mad at MJF. What is he supposed to do about it? Say no? Give me less TV time? MJF gets the TV time because he produces results. Britt, you also produce results. However, you haven't been around a lot. So you have to reestablish your relationship with the audience, and that's going to take time. What is so hard about just going to Tony Khan and saying that? Enough of the drama. Enough. But it ain't going to be the last time you hear drama from AEW. It's going to happen again. Because Tony Khan was so lenient with how he ran the roster over the last 5 years. It is now built in to what AEW is. And until that changes, expect more. But hopefully we can move on. And we can get back to enjoying the build-up to All In when Britt comes back. Give me your thoughts down below. Thank you guys for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and VENMO. Love you all. Catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's World for more drama in AEW. Because it's great content. No, hopefully there won't be. Let's just get back to talking about why AEW is awesome. They were on a great, and they still are on a very good run. It feels like they've gotten out of the rut. Let's not fall back into it. See you guys later. This is Alyx, just Alyx, signing out right here in Alyx's World. A place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you.